39.40 seems to be the new 30. How have you found just backing up from races and backing up from big races and still performing well at this age?
I think, like every Ironman, I used to have 3-4 weeks off, come back and be running no problems and get fit, but I just can't do it nowadays. Everything, a couple of days off, then I'm into it again because I've noticed everything shortens up. All my muscles get tight, and so nowadays it's just active recovery rather than forced rest. So I think that's the thing that comes with age. Is just you just got to keep moving, and when you stop, things just seize up. So it's so important for me now that after this race I'll be probably back into it. A couple of days if it's in the pool or just a spin. Just helps so much with the recovery.
I talked to some of the pros, the younger guys who were chasing you and Crowie in Melbourne, and they were saying that they were just not tough enough and they weren't seasoned enough. Do you think there's some validity in those comments?
The pace was just full on. It's pretty hard to, Crowie ended up running a 2:37 and I was 2:38 and I was 2:41. So. It's not many of those guys who've ever done that. It's the first time I ever did it. So, you just had to be mentally tough on the day. And I think after New Zealand, I was ready to go, and I'm always, top notch in March. And I think I sort of this time, maybe I got off that bike and I felt good, and sort of pushing the pace early on, and just sort of stuff it. I'm going to go for it this time. And, give it a real good shot.
10-time winner of Ironman New Zealand. Obviously, it's a feat that no one around the world is going to get near, at least not for a decade. But as you went on and as you won more, was the pressure increasing, or did you find you got more relaxed with the atmosphere in the course and the expectation?
No, it got harder and harder. Probably, just the expectation always to win was, I ended up hating that week because it's just so much pressure, and you just want it to be over and done with. So after every Ironman New Zealand, it's just like, oh, thank God that's over and done with, and I can relax now and enjoy the rest of the season. So when I go to Germany, and that's the same for those guys, I go there not worried, relaxed, and it's great. It's a fantastic feeling. Same when you when you're racing on someone else's home turf, the pressure's on them. So they're the ones that have to perform. So coming into this race and nice and relaxed, and whatever happens. Where 3 months ago in New Zealand, it's a totally different story.
Racing Kona has been a tricky scenario for you. You've had some great days there, podium, and you've had some days that you might want to not remember. For you, is it still desire to get to the Big Island and perform? Even at the moment, as you said, you've run the 2:40 in Melbourne, so obviously there's no problem with your form is, but can you carry that to the Big Island?
Yeah, I've just had shocking luck the last since 2005. I got second there, and then I had a fifth, I think, and an eighth after that. But just had bad luck. Bee sting the night before, and just getting sick. And
didn't want to eat the bee like Jens Voigt did in the recent tour.
Oh, if I caught it, I would have. Yeah, but this year I'm going to do a few things different. I wasn't going to go this year, but after Melbourne, I thought I do have the potential to do well again, and I pushed Crow to his max, and that was fantastic. And so I think I still can perform there. It's just I've got to do things different. Last year, the last few years I've spent the time in the southern hemisphere, and it's just never quite that warm. And so this year I'm going to go up to Boulder and train there and get in the altitude and just give it one more last go.
Where does it lie? Where does the source of your inspiration lie? Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning? I mean, it's a long career. It's been an amazing career. You could quite easily just say that's enough. I'm going to pull the pin. What is it that gets you going?
I think firstly it's a love and passion for the sport. I couldn't get out and go for a 6-hour ride if I didn't love it. And you get the days where it's pissing down with rain and it's cold and wet, and you don't want to get out there, but there's always something in the back of your mind that says, no, get out there and do it. So-and-so's going to be doing it, so you better get out there. And it's my job, but firstly it's the love and passion, and then having those goals along the way. I've always set goals, and I think no matter how big or small they are, it's important to have them. And each build up, New Zealand in March, and then it'll always sort of be a European Ironman in July and then October. So there's always constant builds, and it was always something I'm aiming for and aspiring for.
What makes a good Ironman, a good Ironman pro? I mean, we see a lot of the young guys coming through now, and they're flashing the pans. You've had this amazing longevity to your career, but what do you think makes a really good Ironman racer as a professional?
Yeah, I think just staying in the short course for as long as you can, keeping that speed. I mean, I did the World Cup circuit back in when I was young, and it was just a progression. It was doing that till I was sort of 27, and then I did my first Ironman. Had a bad one, but didn't really start till I was in the late 20s, where you're getting these guys that are starting 20, 21. It's just too young. They haven't developed. They need to keep that speed, slowly move through the distances, and if they do that, they can have a real longevity in the sport. But, they might have one crack at one, and then that's it. They sort of don't perform. And I've seen a lot of guys over the last few years. It's just, you feel like saying, I mean, you tell them, to stop, and you can do this thing until you're 40 now. But it's probably a little bit of big-headedness with some of them, and they don't. But if they do it right, they can stay there.
Okay, I don't want to retire you prematurely because you're flying. But what's the afterlife hold for Cam Brown?
I think I love that. I love the sport. I've got a lot of passion. I think I've got 20 years of knowledge of the sport so far, and I'll probably try and give that back. So I'm sure I'll get into coaching. Sort of kept away from it because it's a busy life. You're a full-time athlete and a parent, and you're looking after two kids all the time. So it's full on. So once I sort of start going down that slippery slope, then I'll start getting into coaching. And you never know what's on the horizon. Something will pop up, I'm sure.
Cam Brown, thanks for spending some time with us.